Once upon a time, there lived a farmer. His wife had passed away, leaving behind 3 daughters. The poor man thought of hiring a maid to help with the house, but his youngest daughter, Maryushka, said, "Do not hire a maid, father. I will take care of the house myself." Thus, Maryushka began managing the household, and she did it in a very excellent manner. There was no task she could not do, and whatever she did beautifully. Her father loved Maryushka very much and was happy that his daughter was so clever, hardworking, and beautiful. But her 2 elder sisters were filled with jealousy and greed. Day and night, they were busy wearing new dresses and trying to make themselves look beautiful. One day, the farmer was going to the market. He asked his daughters, "Tell me, my dear daughters, what should I bring for you? Which thing will make you happy?" The 2 elder daughters said, "Bring a shawl for each of us, but make sure it has large flowers embroidered with golden thread." Maryushka stood silently and said nothing. The farmer asked, "And what about you, my dear? What do you want?" Maryushka replied, "Bring me 1 feather of the Finist Falcon, father." The farmer went away and returned after a few days. He brought shawls for both elder daughters, but he could not bring the feather for Maryushka because he could not find it anywhere. After some time, he went to the market again. He asked, "Now tell me, daughters, what should I bring this time?" The 2 elder daughters happily said, "Bring silver-buckled shoes for each of us." But Maryushka said again, "Bring me 1 feather of the Finist Falcon, father." The farmer spent the whole day wandering in the market. He bought the shoes, but still could not find the feather anywhere. As he was leaving the city, he met an old man on the way. The farmer said, "Peace be upon you, grandfather." The old man replied, "And peace be upon you, kind man. Where are you going?" The farmer said, "I am returning to my village, grandfather. My heart is very sad. My youngest daughter asked me for a feather of the Finist Falcon, but I could not find it anywhere." The old man smiled and said, "I have the feather you are looking for. This is a magical feather. But you seem to be a good man, so I will give it to you." Then the old man took the feather out of his bundle and gave it to the farmer. It looked like an ordinary feather. While returning home, the farmer kept thinking what use this feather would be to Maryushka. When the farmer returned home, he gave gifts to his daughters. The 2 elder sisters wore their new clothes and laughed at Maryushka. They said, "You were foolish and you will remain foolish. Now put this feather in your hair and let us see how beautiful you look." Maryushka did not reply and stayed away from them all day. When everyone had fallen asleep, she placed the feather on the ground and softly said, "Come to me, Finist Falcon, my dear." As soon as she said this, a very handsome young man appeared before her, so beautiful that no one like him had ever been seen in the world. He stayed with Maryushka for many hours, and when morning came, he struck the ground and turned into a falcon. Maryushka opened the window, and the falcon flew into the blue sky. Every night, Maryushka welcomed him. During the day, he flew in the sky as a falcon, and when night fell, he returned and became a handsome young man again. But on the 4th day, Maryushka's 2 cruel sisters discovered this secret. They ran to their father and told him everything. The father said, "You should have nothing to do with your sister. Leave her alone." But in their hearts, the sisters said, "Let us see what happens next." The next evening, they placed a row of sharp knives on the window frame and closed the window. Then they hid and waited to see what would happen. Maryushka finished her work and came into her room. Because of tiredness, she lay down to rest and soon fell into a deep sleep. After some time, the bright falcon came. He flew to the window but could not enter the room. He struck the glass again and again until his chest was wounded by the sharp knives. But Maryushka remained in deep sleep and heard nothing. The falcon said, "If you ever need me, then search for me. But it will not be easy. You will only find me when you wear out 3 pairs of iron shoes, break 3 iron staffs, and tear 3 iron caps." Hearing this, Maryushka opened her eyes. She jumped out of bed and ran to the window, but the falcon was gone. Only a few drops of his blood remained on the window. Maryushka began to cry, and her tears washed away the blood stains. She went to her father and told him everything. She said, "Father, do not be angry with me. Allow me to go on my path. If I live, I will meet you again. If I die, then this will be my fate." The farmer was deeply saddened at parting from his dearest daughter, but in the end, he allowed her to go. Thus, Maryushka had 3 pairs of iron shoes, 3 iron staffs, and 3 iron caps made, and she set out on a long and difficult journey in search of her beloved Finist Falcon. She crossed open fields, passed through dense forests, and climbed high mountains. She kept moving forward. The sweet songs of birds comforted her heart, the cool water of rivers washed her face, and the dark forests welcomed her. No wild animal could harm her, because wolves, bears, and foxes came and sat near her gently. As she walked on, one pair of iron shoes wore out, one iron staff broke, and one iron cap tore. One day, she reached an open clearing in the forest where she saw a small hut standing on chicken legs and spinning around. Maryushka said, little hut, turn your back to the trees and your face to me, so that I may enter and eat a little bread." The hut turned its back to the trees and its face toward Maryushka. She went inside and saw Baba Yaga. Baba Yaga muttered, "Ah, Russian blood. Never have I seen it before, now its scent has come to my door. Who are you, where have you come from, and where are you going?" Maryushka said, "I am searching for Finist Falcon, grandmother." Baba Yaga said, "He is very far away, my dear. You must cross 9 lands and pass beyond 10 kingdoms. The queen there is a cruel sorceress. She gave Finist a magical potion, cast a spell on him, and while he was unconscious, she married him. But I will help you. Take this silver plate and this golden egg. When you reach that kingdom, take work as a servant in the queen's palace. When your day's work is done, place the egg on the plate. The egg will begin to roll by itself. If they wish to buy it, do not sell it. Say that you must be allowed to see Finist Falcon." Maryushka thanked Baba Yaga and continued her journey. Darkness fell in the forest, and she became so frightened that she could not take another step. Suddenly, she saw a cat coming toward her. The cat came near, purred softly, and said, "Do not be afraid, Maryushka. The path ahead will be even more difficult, but you must have courage. Keep walking and never look back." The cat rubbed against her feet and disappeared, and Maryushka continued onward. As she went deeper into the forest, the darkness increased. She kept walking until her second pair of iron shoes wore out, the second iron staff broke, and the second iron cap tore. At last, she reached another hut. She entered and saw Baba Yaga's elder sister, Marin. Marin asked the same questions. Maryushka replied, "I am searching for Finist Falcon, grandmother." Marin said, "Have you already been to my sister?" "Yes, grandmother, I have." "Very well, my dear, I will help you too. Take this golden needle and silver frame. This needle works by itself and embroiders with gold and silver thread on red velvet. If anyone wishes to buy it, do not sell it. Say that you must be allowed to see Finist Falcon." Maryushka thanked Marin and continued her journey. Soon, terrifying sounds echoed through the forest. Fear entered her heart, but she did not lose courage. Suddenly, a dog ran toward her and barked, "Do not be afraid, my dear. The path ahead is even more difficult, but you must keep walking and never look back." Then the dog disappeared. Maryushka went on. The forest grew deeper. Branches and thorns wounded her arms and knees, but she did not stop. At last, her third pair of iron shoes wore out, the third iron staff broke, and the third iron cap tore. She reached a green meadow where a small hut stood. She went inside and saw Morna, the eldest sister. Morna gave her a silver spindle and a golden spinning wheel, saying it would spin golden thread by itself. She gave her the same instruction. Maryushka thanked her and continued her journey. Suddenly, roars and whistling sounds echoed. A gray wolf ran toward her and said, "Do not be afraid, Maryushka. Climb onto my back and never look back." Maryushka climbed onto the wolf's back, and they ran across vast fields, velvet meadows, honey rivers, and high mountains touching the clouds. At last, they reached a shining palace with bright windows. The queen was looking out of a window. The wolf said, "We have arrived. Get down and ask for work as a servant." Maryushka thanked the wolf and went to the palace. She bowed before the queen and said, "Forgive me, I do not know your name, but do you need a servant?" The queen said, "Yes, I need a servant who can weave and embroider." Maryushka said, "I can do all of that." Thus, Maryushka became a servant. She worked all day, and at night she took out the silver plate and golden egg and said, "Roll, roll, golden egg on the silver plate, and show me my Finist." The egg rolled, and Finist appeared. Tears flowed from her eyes. The queen heard and said, "Sell me your silver plate and golden egg." Maryushka replied, "They are not for sale, but if you allow me to see Finist Falcon, I will give them to you for free." The queen agreed. That night, Maryushka went to his room, but he was in a deep sleep. She tried to wake him, but he did not awaken. The next night, she used the golden needle and silver frame, repeating the same request. Again, she was allowed to see him, but he remained asleep. On the third night, she took out the silver spindle and golden wheel. Once more, she was allowed to see him. This time, her warm tear fell on Finist's face and burned him. He stirred, opened his eyes, and saw Maryushka. His joy knew no bounds. They prepared to return home, but the queen saw them and ordered her trumpeters to announce his betrayal throughout the land. The princes and merchants gathered and discussed how to punish him. Finist Falcon stood up and said, "Who do you think is my true wife? The one who loves me from the depths of her heart, or the one who deceives and sells me?" All admitted that his true wife was Maryushka. They returned to their homeland and held a magnificent wedding feast, so grand that it is remembered even today. Cannons were fired and trumpets were sounded. From that day on, they lived in love and happiness. The evil queen burned to ashes, while Maryushka forgave her two sisters.